under the sea, in an octopus's garden, in the shade.
To get it over there, I bet. We can spin the boat around if we have to.
Hi everyone, my name is Chris Goldblatt and I'm the founder of the Fish Reef Project. These balls were put on the seafloor 18 months ago, and in just 18 months we see the beginning of an entire new marine ecosystem. There's an octopus just hanging out in one of the holes. There's a beautiful baby red cabezon, and a Ballina rockfish is coming in to say hello. Lots of little tiny rockfish float along in planktonic form, and when they find safe harbor like the cave area in these reef balls, they settle down and they grow up to become big giant rockfish and have lots of rockfish babies. There's a Spanish shawl, a type of purple nudibranch, on the inside of the reef ball. And that's what you call a Johnny bass or a yellowtail rockfish. There's the holdfast to the giant kelp. The kelp has just grabbed on and grown like wildfire. Kelp is very important. Some of the kelp beds off California have been impacted by human runoff severely over the years. Lots of areas where we used to have kelp is just covered in mud from years of human runoff, and the reef balls can help generate new kelp, as you can see. And kelp is important because within the kelp forest you can actually reduce ocean acidification on a localized basis. And then the filter feeders on the reef balls, ooh, there's a nice sand bass, like scallops and mussels, they actually clean the water. We can actually make the water physically cleaner by adding reef balls to the environment. Now, around the reef balls, there's a lot more life in the sand than when we put them down. There's a lot more marine vegetation. Now, what you see in front of you is the egg casing known as a mermaid's purse. That's the egg to a swell shark. The sharks are actually using the reef balls to lay eggs. It's made out of keratin, like your fingernails. You can see the embryo right in the middle of it. Now here we are on another reef ball about 100 feet away, the same water depth, but as you can see, we have a different marine algae ecosystem. That is a dulse marine algae is what that's called, dulse or Turkish towel. It's full of nutrition, that red marine algae. It's used in a lot of nutritional products. Now those are copper rockfish. We've seen these same three rockfish on 3 separate dives. We call them Minnie, Mo, and Jack. Clearly they have identified the reef ball as home, and when there's more cave area for rockfish and other types of fish, it increases their chances of growing to reproductive size and increasing the net amount of fish that are in the ocean. And there's a nice sugar bass next to it. The meat actually tastes like sugar. There's over 500,000 reef balls in 70 countries. It's a very well-tested technology. In Thailand, they have a 3-mile-long reef ball reef. That's a juvenile vermilion rockfish. It's a recovering species. Their numbers were pushed down a little bit in the past, and now with projects like this, their numbers are swinging right back. So why in California do we not have a state-sponsored reefing program when the rest of the seaside states in the United States have one? A lot of countries have one, but California does not. Well, that leaves the Fish Reef Project to step in and say, we'll do it. And we are, as you can see. See how that rockfish just goes right on the reef ball seeking safe harbor? Here we are on the inside. You can see that one starfish off to the right is actually seems to have what you call wasting syndrome. It's missing a leg. Now these copper rockfish seem to pick away at the soft coral, so they actually feed off of the soft coral and algae growing on the reef balls. Watch him throw his quills up. He's saying, "Get away, this is my reef ball." There's an octopus. Octopi are some of the smartest animals in the ocean. I wouldn't want to take an IQ test next to one of those things. There he is again. He's saying, get away, this is mine. In 1.5 winter cycles, the balls have not moved. They've recruited kelp and fish and sponges and all sorts of little critters have made these reef balls home. There's going to be 8 billion human beings on this planet soon, and we have to utilize realistic projects like the Reef Ball Project and the Fish Reef Project to offset the human impact. There's a lot of fear out there about what do we do with the environmental situation. Well, the Fish Reef Project is something very tangible that we can do. It's cost efficient, it yields fast results, it unites the ocean community, all the different sides of the ocean community, from environmental to fishing to academia. Everybody is united behind this single project because it works.
We said they would. There's basically a kelp forest on one of the balls at this point with at least 6 different kinds of marine algae. That you can see sand bass, you can see perch, you can see calico bass, you can see sculpin, you can see brown rockfish, you can see a couple species of rockfish that I didn't even recognize. Big giant, 2 big giant octopus, clams, crabs everywhere. What else is down there? Laminaria grows to it, dulse, the red seaweed that comes off of it. As you can see, the balls have not moved. They haven't really sunk. They haven't sanded into far more than 1 inch or 2. Even the flatfish like to come around. It's basically the beginnings of a complete ecosystem. And there's sponges, there's little baby scallops, there's barnacles everywhere. There's 5 different species of sea stars, or at least 3. And this is really a work in progress, and we're really, really excited about what the future holds.
18 months ago, we put down 2 reef balls on seafloor that look like this. Not much going on down there. Here we are 2 weeks later, still not much there, not much life around the reef balls, just a little tiny fish. 18 months later, bam, this is what you get. The beginning of a new ecosystem. Absolutely amazing what nature can do if you just give it a little help. Here is a diagram of the first full-size reef that we plan to make off of Santa Barbara and also in Hawaii. After 3 years, it's very realistic to expect that this is what our reef ball reef will look like. This is a sample of coral restoration in Indonesia. And some more coral growing in Florida. So you can see that when we have our first reef ball reef in Maui and Oahu, that it will work very well for coral and nearshore fish restoration. So from all of us at the Fish Reef Project, thank you for watching our video, and with your support, we will help ocean life thrive, and we look forward to bringing you lots of new life for years to come.
He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden in the shade. I'd ask my friend